Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Week 9, Day 1 of the LCS. I am Captain Flowers, joined by my friend Kobe here for his first time on the Work From Home LCS broadcast. Welcome, Kobe, once more.
Thank you. Hope I don't mess it up for you, my friend.
We have just got back from our 5-minute competitive integrity delay. For those who were not a part of the show last week or might not remember, we do have to wait 5 minutes in between Champion Select and the game going live so that we can have a delay on the gameplay, just for any pauses, any sort of delays, things like that, to ensure the utmost integrity here in the game.
Yeah, that's the Riot anti-cheat mode.
Yeah, we're the anti-cheat now. We may not have any, we don't got a tribunal or anything. We are the tribunal. This happens right.
No VAC, it's the RAC.
Let's get onto the riff. Yeah, I like it. We're on here, though. It's TSM and 100 Thieves going head-to-head. Remember, a lot on the line here. We are not starting this final week of regular season play out with a game that has very low implications. No, sir. TSM lock a spot in the playoffs for the win here, and 100 Thieves, if they can grab the win, will get a minimum of a playoff tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people kind of instantly would favor TSM in this matchup. 100 Thieves are only one game behind them in the standings, sitting there at 8-8 tied. So see if they can actually get a big win here to secure themselves a lot more safety, looking for that playoff spot. But of course, TSM right now, they're tied for second. Their eyes are actually on a top 4 placement, because then you go upper bracket, double elimination in playoffs, and have a much better chance of going far. All right, starting out though, we did get that recall for Dardoch switching over to the sweeper. Same thing for Biofrost. See the ward he put down in the river.
And as we're waiting for things to spawn, let's remember what happened last week, because both of these teams had a bit of a surprising final game for us to see on Sunday of Week 8. It was 100 Thieves who took down FlyQuest to the surprise of many people, and TSM losing to Immortals. Thankfully, it didn't take over an hour like it did when they played back in Week 1, but it was still a disappointment for TSM fans that were really hoping this team was going to be pulling things together and looking really strong towards the end of this split.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I would say that TSM have looked really strong, but they've also looked weak. So as soon as you think you've got a lot of confidence, and they take down Cloud9, break the undefeated streak, then they end up, dropping a game like the one you just mentioned. So really the thing that TSM fans, I think, want to see from this team is some more consistency in being able to deliver those results.
Exactly. TSM giveth and TSM taketh, but the fans, they just want them to taketh everything from everyone. Stop giving away some of those freebies, as Biofrost is on the bad end of a trade here in the bottom side on that Tahm Kench. And Jack kind of talked about this last weekend a little bit, because a lot of times, and I am one of the people that wholesheartedly believes in this because I do not like Tahm Kench, TK just feels like the third summoner spell. He's drafted to keep the 80 carry safe. He gobbles him up, and that's his job. But the champion does have some powerful laning capabilities, specifically against other melee matches.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that, because Tahm Kench, he does some licking as well, okay? He's pretty good at trading.
He does some licking.
They gave him a decent amount of damage through the passive and trying to stack up the acquired taste and get those stuns off. So like you mentioned, in melee versus melee matchups, a Varus Tahm Kench lane actually has offensive power as well. When Varus hits level 6, that ultimate can definitely be used to kill off someone like Aphelios that does not have escapes. Top side, we're seeing, of course, the expiration of that ward that we mentioned. Dardoch used it at level 1 before recalling and switching over to the sweeper. Did give away Meteos' position there, so they got some value out of that level 1 recall switching trinkets.
And considering that lets them know that Meteos is on the top side Scuttle Crab, it is now safe for Dardoch to make his way towards that bottom side crab. He can take that one non-contested. Meteos will enter into TSM jungle territory here on the top side, but as soon as he fires off that Scryer's Bloom, he will realize that the Wolves and the Gromp have both been taken. There's nothing for him to farm, so he'll head back to town.
Dardoch hovering around mid lane meanwhile as they split Scuttle Crabs. Good thing here, Ryoma gonna stick to the strong side where he knows Meteos just went in. A little bit deeper of a ward, and looking a little bit further at TSM's success, you also look at Bjergsen's champion that he was playing in their success. Well, never mind. Dardoch probably gonna get this one off.
You would think he could at least get a flash here, considering Ryoma is on a champion that has no innate mobility. He's already dropped the gravity field. Dardoch does not want to go any further, though, because they don't have vision over Meteos, and if he overcommits, a pillar could cost him his own summoner spells and or life. So well done there by Ryoma to not panic and flash early, just walk it off.
It does mean Bjergsen gets alone time there with the wave in mid lane. And even though it just looks like him kind of running through and no action takes place, now Bjergsen has the wave pushed in, gets to have one of these more free recalls, which actually only came at the cost of Dardoch passing through. If you look at the mini-map, though, immediately Meteos wants to make him pay for it and wants to make it not a free recall. It will cost you a large wolf.
And a small wolf. Only one of those poor little baby wolves left there on his lonesome. Dardoch getting the better of Meteos here in the trade early on, but Meteos is trying to hit back as he walks away. He blocks himself off with his own pillar, and Meteos potentially taken down here. The potentially only comes down to who he was going to be killed by. Dardoch was waiting there for a second to see if he could give it over to one of his solo lanes. Instead, just takes it for himself, and that is first blood for TSM.
Nobody touches Dardoch's wolves and gets away with it. Meteos was trying to make him pay for it, but he gets caught red-handed. And look at this. There's nobody around. No solo lanes. Teleport comes in from Bjergsen to make sure that Meteos can't get out. Meteos knows this, though. He knows he's going to die, so he doesn't want to give over money to a solo lane, because then you get doubly flamed. And your mid laner's like, hey, you beat my lane in addition to inting. So he just gives the money over to Dardoch, who wants to make him pay again.
Dardoch seeing Meteos farm this frog, waiting for him to walk back over. The frog's revenge comes out as Biofrost gives him the lick, and with Dardoch threatening the EQ combo, it's a flash force out of Meteos.
It is going to be very frustrating now for Meteos. Not only is he significantly behind Dardoch, who also has winning lanes to push up and come help. Okay, maybe Broken Blade gets something done here.
Let's talk about winning lanes here for a second, because Broken Blade hitting the level 6 point first while Sunday is still only level 5 means he gets an opportunity to absolutely slam his opponent there in a trade. And TSM, they seize their chance to go for an early Drake #1. They'll pick that one up with no interference from 100 Thieves.
All right. Can they get anything done mid? Few people around this river, and Dardoch does get locked up temporarily.
Stunt will chase him away there. The power of that Nautilus in those close-up fights as Broken Blade now finds himself ganked here. Meteos making his way into the top side. Remember, the World Ender is not available for Broken Blade, and someday collects his 300 gold paycheck.
Some vengeance here, and Meteos is able to get to the top side of the map because they saw Dardoch going for these invades and knows that they just took the dragon. It's still, I think, going to be an advantage for TSM, stacking up the early dragon, stealing away the blue buff from Ryoma. This is kind of a TSM special. Everyone who has played with Bjergsen talks about second blue buff invades. And they're going to be able to steal that one away. And even though Meteos can answer, he doesn't. Oh, actually hands it off.
All right. 100 Thieves, they know the TSM playbook here. Trying to give that one over to Ryoma. Gets it just low enough for the laser. And now it's blue versus blue there mid-side as the 2v2 breaks out here in the bottom lane. And Cody is forced to pop off both summoner spells just to keep himself alive. Now with the TP coming in, an immediate return flash from Kabe. He doesn't want to wait until his opponent shows up and has the chance to flash on him. Instead, he respectfully flashes early and gets himself away.
That's exactly the play that we were looking for, though, with the level 6 on Varus. Kabe does not hesitate. Immediately nails Cody-san, gets both summoner spells there. As you're saying, he does have to flash in the end because Ryoma uses teleport bottom. But it is going to be overall extra summoner spells burned by TSM. Do think 100 Thieves have recovered very well from the early invade gone awry. We can call that chapter 1.
Yeah, okay. That's or is that the prologue? Is that the prologue to the act?
All right, yeah, that's just the prologue. That's how we set up the story.
Right. We're introducing the characters. Meteos as our overzealous wolf thief, and Dardoch as the angry wolf farmer.
Protecting his
flock.
How do you farm your flock of wolves?
Yeah, it's a flock of wolves. Sure, no reason not to.
No one's gonna fact check that. That's
no,
fine.
of course not.
It's not a pack or anything. That's not a.
Broken Blade is about to be fact-checked for how overextended he is in this top side. Meteos once again going to be making his way up here. The rest of TSM coming over to help Broken Blade. And Biofrost with the flash into the Devour. He's got to save. It's going to be a 1-for-1 there at the end of the day. Someday make sure of it with the Ram. Woo!
Yeah, he's able to bowl them over. And since it's a 1-for-1, Flowers, bottom side, Cody Sun and Stunt are now in a 2-versus-1 scenario versus Kabe. So he has to back off the minion wave. Extra tower damage here for Cody Sun, as well as able to shove the minion wave in and will be first to move.
Man, Biofrost coming up almost perfectly clutch there. He does, of course, buy enough time to make sure it's a 1-for-1. But just almost able to save Broken Blade from absolute doom there. That's the second death now for Broken Blade in this matchup. And honestly, throughout this spring split, both these top laners have had some pretty impressive performances. So TSM fans don't like seeing Broken Blade sit here at 0-2 on a champion like Aatrox that you expect to have a good laning phase.
True. I mean, Someday just has the accuracy with the ultimate there, right? That, for Biofrost play, that he basically saved Broken Blade, and it would have been a 1-for-0. Bottom side, Meteos is here, but so is Dardoch.
Meteos gets hit by the Chains of Corruption. Biofrost going to be tanking up the bottom laners from 100 Thieves. It's going to be a disengage now from both sides. Biofrost does take the worst of the trade by a significant margin, and he will have to head back to base.
Back to your top laner point, though, it's not just the kills on Someday's side, getting 2-0 for the Ornn, but the experience as well. He keeps on getting not only the last hit for the kill, so he gets some experience there, but also he had the entire wave that he got to farm. And with the changes to Ornn requiring a higher level to get to your big ornaments upgrade items and more power, he's...
Did you just call them ornaments?
Yeah, that's what they call them in the LCK, and I quite liked it. Atlas and LS call them ornaments. You get some nice bling on yourself.
All right, I dig it.
I think that's a keeper. That's
all right, we'll call them ornaments from now on. That's good. I'm just imagining he really needs a Christmas skin now, though. Christmas 2020, Christmas tree Ornn.
And he's gonna have just a dangling sunfire chain.
He summons Santa's sleigh with his R. It's just a big sleigh. It makes sleigh bell noises instead of a horn, and it runs you over. His Q makes a Christmas tree, and when he makes an item with his passive, instead of hitting an anvil, he puts a present together. Ryan, I hope you're listening to this. This is gold right now, as Biofrost is now going to find himself ganked. Yet again, it's Meteos trying to make the plays. A TP comes in from Bjergsen, who's now going to find the aggro switched over onto him. The Emperor's Divide will throw Stunt back, and he's sent back home into the fountain. Dardoch looking to grab himself a kill into Cody Sun. He'll grab it, but he also falls in retaliation. 100 Thieves now going to bring Someday into the mix here as well. Kabe knocked up into the air. Biofrost with a good save, spinning him out, keeping him alive. Someday's follow-up throws him right back up into the air, and they're still going to find the kill. 100 Thieves grabbing yet another, but Bjergsen's going to make it even here again. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. This fight has bodies falling on both sides.
Back and forth, and Broken Blade, the only one who doesn't have to participate, so he also gets turret plate money for TSM. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves will pick up a Drake, so there won't be a rush to any type of soul in this game, with both teams splitting the Drakes this early. TSM did get a lot of money on top side with Broken Blade pushing in and getting the extra plate, and they're also going to be able to farm up this Rift Herald in exchange for that dragon, so although it was very much back and forth down there in the bottom side with a new challenger arriving every 20 seconds, I think that TSM a little bit quicker here. If they can finish off this Rift Herald, that's going to get some extra damage to push it ahead. But man, look at the start. Really good job by 100 Thieves, Stunt, and Cody Sun to lock down Biofrost. First teleport comes in, and that's Bjergsen. Going to turn very scary for 100 Thieves as Stunt goes down, tries to isolate himself and not let them chase down Cody Sun. So that's going to be a Cody Sun for Dardoch until Some Daddy arrives again. It looks like he will have the last laugh again, like he had previously in the 2 plays in this game, but he gets locked up there at the last second, and Bjergsen's Sand Soldiers just go to town.
What a crazy extended fight there in the bottom lane. This game already got 9 kills at 13 minutes, but it's TSM coming out on top here in terms of gold, 1,500 ahead, considering they just grabbed themselves the first turret of the game there in that top side. Bjergsen now going to be handed his second blue buff of the game, the third one that has spawned for TSM, as turret plates do fall.
All right, Flowers.
Now, top laners. All right, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Hold on. You distracted me. I was going to make a point.
We're in a game where Bjergsen's getting all these kills for TSM. He's 3-0 on Azir right now. You just saw him actually melt through Someday, because at this stage of the game, Someday is not invested in magic resistance. You know, he's got all the attack, all the armor, because he's playing against Aatrox Jarvan. But we get a little preview of the rest of this game. If it's going to be a fed Azir for TSM, and Bjergsen is already level 11 with 3 kills, then Someday is going to have to get, Abyssal Mask or something like that. And you're going to have this question of, will the Azir that's fed be able to melt through this beefy front line of 100 Thieves that also have the Trundle, might I remind you? Or is Someday going to be able to dole out enough extra gold that 100 Thieves will still be able to power through?
Yeah, with the range on Bjergsen's Azir, if he continues to get fed like this, your frontliners on the side 100 Thieves, they aren't particularly mobile. I mean, Trundle can walk faster, and Ornn has a small charge, but in terms of getting on top of an Azir, it is pretty difficult. So if you're TSM right now, the Burger King's sitting in a spot to rightfully defend his throne, and that's pretty exciting. We'll see if they're able to keep this pressure up here in the mid game. Remember earlier on in this split, back when things were looking real dicey for TSM, they would have good early games, and then everything after that would kind of go to hell. So I want to see if they can keep things a bit more heaven side now as we approach the mid game. Ryoma forced to move out there with the flash. TSM going for the play here in the mid lane. Cody's Sun isolated. Bjergsen going after him. Emperor's Divide not going to find the mark, but Broken Blade's there anyway. The Infernal Chains will pull him to his doom, and TSM will grab 1 kill.
Yeah, you cannot misposition as Aphelios. We say this every game, but without any defense, he goes down immediately in the dive.
The dive just does not stop. Dardoch's going to be setting things up here with a Cataclysm, but you got to look out because TSM's not able to follow up the rest of the way. They were not ready to go all the way between 2 turrets like that. Broken Blade so close to getting a kill onto Ryoma, but instead loses his own life.
Yeah, a bit overzealous on that dive. No damage follow-up. It's really just the 2 melees in there going for it, and Broken Blade can't get that kill by himself, so TSM do overreach. They got a little bit hyped up. The snowball that they had started to build, and they couldn't stop it. Just got away from them.
TSM not wanting to let an opportunity pass them by, unfortunately, just came up a little bit shy there, but hey, I can respect it. That was the Chad play for sure. And you can see the inventories of TSM. You've got the chain vests and the cloaks there for both Dardoch and Biofrost, meaning that Gargoyle's stone plates, 2 of them, going to be coming online here before too much longer. One was also going to be built by Stunt here. Same inventory items available for him. So quickly, the meatballs on this, or excuse me, on both these teams, Kobe, are going to become much meatier.
Yeah, and they're going to have an Ocean Drake to fight over very soon here. So you see them already laying down wards to work with. And we'll see if that costly dive for TSM actually ends up moving the needle here on the Dragon fight. 100 Thieves, their vision getting cleared out very quickly by TSM. But if they're in the river like this, it does make Someday's job of landing that ultimate onto Kobbe plus Bjergsen a little bit easier. So that's why you have to watch the positioning. Tom Kench can only save 1 of those carries.
Yeah.
Bjergsen and Kobbe need to separate themselves so they don't get locked up by the double initiation on 100 Thieves side.
TSM going after the Drake now as it spawns. They recognize they've got control over this bottom half of the river. You're thinking they can burst it down in time, but a nice ulti comes in from Someday, able to throw 2 up into the air. Bjergsen's going to be saved now by Biofrost, and the fight breaks out. Full 5v5. Broken Blade running away to the top. The rest of TSM consolidating their forces here in the river. It's Dardoch in the middle of 5, but he's going to be blown up immediately. Meteo's tanking up there in the Cataclysm. He's going to be kept alive. 3 members critically low on the side of 100 Thieves, but it's only TSM that have actually lost a man so far. Drake still aggroed. TSM allowing that one to reset now They know they're down a guy, but they also have the chance to blow somebody up if they really can get a solid engage here. Meteo's still in the pit, still tanking up the Ocean Drake. Down to 3,000 HP, 100 Thieves ready to commit for this. It's below 1,000 and it is secured by Meteos.
100 Thieves get the critical kill there and are able to take the objective. So TSM are really going to look back on that dive before the Dragon with a huge amount of regret. I'm hoping that we still have this replay because this is going to be my first big shout out. I want to highlight Stunt. He's the reason they get the kill on Dardoch here. Stunt goes really far forward on his Nautilus, and he has your favorite item, Flowers, the stopwatch.
Oh,
he
no.
completely baits Dardoch in. Dardoch tries to finish him off with an EQ, but Stunt immunes it with a stopwatch, and Dardoch just driving into the entire 100 Thieves team, and they get the kill onto the TSM jungler, and that's what earns 100 Thieves this critical win around Dragon number 3.
And speaking of critical, Meteos critically staying alive in the Cataclysm from the Jarvan as well. Because he managed to survive there with just a couple hundred HP, it meant that 100 Thieves had the confidence to throw him in the Drake pit and know they had the smite there still available to secure it and make sure they could grab that objective away from the clutches of TSM.
Yeah. Trundle, one of the best things that people don't really think about a lot with them is how you heal so much off the passive when things around you die. So them getting the kill, also giving him some extra health there, so he's around to stick around for the Dragon. Since we don't have the replay, I hope that you like our... Oh, we do have the replay.
We do have the replay.
Hey.
Let's go.
All right, let's get into it then. Stunt can start his montage thing. We were shouting big because Someday did get a 4-person knock up with the ultimate, and then they get the crab. There goes Stunt, though, like we're talking about, deep into Biofrost. And Dardoch's eyes get real big when he's that low, but then he's surrounded by the entire team. And TSM didn't have their DPS in place to actually follow up on that engage. Then you get the good reset. Everything calms down here. It's still a little bit tense for TSM, but they know that because Someday has teleport, that front line will come back with 100% HP, and 100 Thieves just get to leash the Dragon, as you know.
And considering that TSM also had a control ward in the brush next to the control ward that Someday was TPing back in on, TSM was aware that Someday was TPing back into the fight with full HP, and I like the call from them to just let this go. Remember, both teams are sitting on one Drake so far, so getting this is only number 2 for either side, which at the end of the day is pretty inconsequential. Teams really only start caring about the Drakes once they hit number 3, because then you have to fight for all the remaining ones because of the soul, or of course the 4th one is that soul. So just giving away the second Drake, it's no big deal. I think TSM made the right call just letting that go with Dardoch being down.
Yeah, a lot of people have started to put more priority on these Ocean Dragons because they really enjoy the regeneration now, and especially if we're going to have a lot of fights like this where you're backing off in and out and looking for those re-engages. They are going to look to chain quite a few more of those. I'm super excited for where this is going to go now because we've had a little bit of a teeter-totter in the early game, and it's definitely still within reach for both sides.
Yeah, we'll update y'all once we get back into the game. And as I say it, we're back into the game here right now as Bjergsen and TSM currently sitting tied with 100 Thieves, still only commanding that 1,500 gold lead. So 100 Thieves have done a good job staunching that bleeding. And we'll see if TSM keep trying to make these aggressive plays, trying to make these moves to get themselves ahead. Still waiting on those stone plates to come online here across the board.
Yeah, I mean, Rift Herald's going to be the next target. This is Rift Herald number 2, so yes, the turret plates have already fallen, but it still provides a really important use, which is taking down mid-turret. 100 Thieves don't want to let TSM get that big objective uncontested, so all you have to do is delay it until that 1955 mark, where Shelly will disappear and Baron comes to chase her out of the pit.
You know what I really want from League of Legends Season 11, Kobe? I want an animation where when Baron shows up, he eats Shelly.
Oh!
That's
brutal.
Yeah, well,
Shelly already died.
Life in the Void is hard. It's unforgiving. It's ruthless. And Shelly just randomly disappearing, it doesn't immerse me in the lore of the game. I need to see Baron come up as this big snake monster from underground and eat the little crab.
So that reminds me, my friend took me to a pet shop and was looking at snakes, and they let her feed this snake a live rat, and It's actually the most graphic thing ever. So if we could get a real, like snake style, throws it up in the air, gobbles the entire Rift Herald down. I think that we might have to, raise the rating on the.
You think we'd have to raise the rating on the game because of eating an imaginary void crab?
It depends on how much detail you put in it.
I don't know, man.
Agree to disagree.
All right. We'll agree to disagree. Back in the game, Baron is live now. We are 21 minutes into the game. The next objective spawning of a smaller magnitude is going to be that next Ocean Drake here in 2.5 minutes. You can see the bottom lane TSM turret out of the picture, as it's still 1 turret to 1 turret here. Someday is level 13 on this Ornn, which means he's got the 2 items equipped for himself. And at level 14, he'll be able to start upgrading those for his allies, most likely that Infinity Edge to the Molten Edge there for Cody's son.
Yeah, I mean, 13 is what feels the best, right? Because you get your upgrades for yourself. You're giving some to your teammates is great and all, helping the team win, but
yeah,
get your double upgrades there, and he finished his Abyssal Mask just in time. Now he's sporting not only the gold chain, but also the gold teeth. Ornament combination there.
The ultimate ornaments. As
the 2 most expensive ones.
Yeah, it's a little bit over 3,000 gold combined value between the 2 of them. It's like 3,300 or something. So when you look at the gold between the teams, TSM being up a little over 1K doesn't mean quite as much when there's that many extra stats there for Someday, who, by the way, has turned to page 420 in his textbook of summoner spells and has dug up both a heal and a cleanse, 2 different spells from what are normally equipped on his champion. He did bring flash and teleport into the game, but now he's ready for the next big team fight that's going to break out. You can see that probably will be the Ocean Drake, and he's already bottom side to be there since he can't TP for it.
I think there are intelligent purchases on both sides of this arm race. So if we update on the war of Super Tank Someday, who did go the Abyssal Mask that we're looking for more MR versus Bjergsen, Bjergsen has answered with the Liandry's, which provides you the burn percentage as well as increasing damage over time. And it's going to take you a lot of time to take down Trundle, Nautilus, and Ornn on the front line. So he's also going for the damage over time, whittle him down style here. It also is going to be a start on Baron in vision of 100 Thieves. They do have the ward in the back.
100 Thieves aware of this, will be able to chase TSM away. Granted, Azir is a very fast Baron taker, but he's not fast enough to do it when your opponents are literally watching it happen from 20 feet away, as Kobbe will be the one to clear out the minion wave here mid. 100 Thieves are 5 men strong here in this mid lane, and they'll march it down to the bottom half of the river. The Drake spawning in 10 seconds.
All right. They also got Infernal Edge upgraded here for Cody's son. So because Someday, like we were talking about, got the early kills in this game, is already to level 14, upgrading extra items for the team, allowing them to get Drake number 3.
There you go. That's soul point for 100 Thieves. Not just soul point on an Ocean Soul, which is often considered the strongest of all the Dragon Souls. Biofrost going to be caught out here in mid lane, forced to flash away from the gravity well, keeps himself alive there with the stone plate. 100 Thieves feeling good at the current state of the game, having that soul to work towards. Again, as I said, that 3 Drake point is going to force TSM to respond in the future. And with Dardoch being caught in the top half of the river, 100 Thieves now head straight for the Baron themselves.
Once again, I gotta give more props to Stunt. They're gonna be able to take down enemy jungler, and this Baron will get burned down. Let's see if Bjergsen runs his ass in there.
Oh, Bjergsen, can you make it in, buddy? Oh, that Baron is down to below half HP already. Broken Blade flapping the wings. The World Ender ready to go. 100 Thieves looking to maybe take the fight, but they are going to keep aggro on the Baron as well. Ryoma nearly killed Bjergsen, almost with the damage to take the mid laner out, and that will repel this Baron attempt.
Whew. All right, that was definitely a clencher. TSM get there just in time. Broken Blade arriving. They wanted to have him on the front line. Bjergsen doing the damage, and with the Varus and the Azir, not only do they chase him off the Baron, but make him pay with a mid turret.
Nicely done there by TSM, making up for the fact that Dardoch got caught, preventing 100 Thieves from being able to grab themselves an incredibly powerful early Baron, as Meteos has found his way onto Kobbe here in the mid lane, but a nice Cataclysm comes in from Dardoch. Kabe is able to keep his flash. Dardoch will trade his off instead. TSM considers it more valuable to have the flash on the Varus than the Jarvan there.
All right, well, they also still have the Scuttle Crab, so I don't have to get too worried about this, but they did show Bjergsen bottom with no teleport. So 100 Thieves are trying to just kind of mirror that mid laner split push, having Ryoma push in top side.
Right, TSM have more teleports in this game than 100 Thieves do because they're running one on both solo laners and the AD carry. However, all three are currently inactive. Ryoma has his ready to go. Sunday has traded his teleport away from an exhaust for this fight. 100 Thieves once again starting up the Baron, making TSM respond. We'll see if Bjergsen's able to deal the big damage that Azir is known to do in these Baron fights. Baron down below 5k. 100 Thieves not backing off here just yet. Stunts there on the front line. Pops the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Sunday firing off the Ram. Dardoch having to get himself out with the EQ the opposite direction. Broken Blade still in the World Ender, but 100 Thieves will once again be forced away from the objective.
Baron wins another fight, regenerating back to full health.
the real winner here.
Exactly. TSM saves Baron again. Maybe he'll repay him after this. Honestly, with them being able to back off like that, though, you see the disengage. I mean, there's a Stone Plate on Dardoch, so even without Flash, he's able to survive, puts up his defenses. Trundle Ornn on the other side, extremely tanky. Stone Plate on the Nautilus and the Tahm Kench as well. Imagine whichever team gets Ocean Soul. Their tanks are actually never going to die. If both teams are able to pull off of these fights right now, Ocean Soul is going to be incredibly important for them. Because if you look down the inventory on TSM side, they don't have any Grievous Wounds yet. And Trundle already heals a lot, but if 100 Thieves can get that Ocean Dragon, it is going to put TSM in a very bad spot. So pretty soon it won't just be Baron Bates Flowers. It's going to be
Ocean Drake Bates as well. Poor TSM in such a rough spot having to contest that, treat it like the most important thing on the map. And even if they get it, they're only getting a single Ocean Drake here for the next 2 Drakes that they would have to get. They need to get 2 more to even get themselves on even ground with 100 Thieves in that department. But now TSM are pushing up the mid lane. They're the ones trying to make sure they have that first shove. With 1 minute left before the Drake spawns, both teams will want to try to get some vision down around this bottom half of the river beforehand to make sure that they've got the advantage when the time for that fight comes. Chains of Corruption land onto Stunt there. Is going to be taking a lot of damage. Bjergsen needs a little bit more, and nicely done from Broken Blade there. The Infernal Chains onto Stunt will pull him back. And critically, they kill him as this Drake is about to spawn. That will give TSM the opportunity to control this bottom half of the map. Meteos has already flashed away. Dardoch will follow it up. You're not going anywhere. And that's shutdown money over to Kabe, and TSM have 2 for nothing.
Yeah, you got to think 100 Thieves are just looking at their fingers as it starts to slip away from them. Kabe comes out with a big pick. Then Bjergsen goes in on the Azir, also picks up Meteos. And with those 2 staggered kills, even though Stunt is back alive now, because they also chased down Meteos, they do get to get the second dragon. More Ocean Drakes flood the map here, Flowers, and they counter 100 Thieves, denying them the early Ocean Soul.
That feels so good for TSM. You're in a spot where if they get that soul, the game just becomes astronomically harder. But instead, you grab 2 for free. You grab the Drake. You're once again telling your opponents who's in charge. Sunday and Cody Sun trying to push up here in the mid lane, put the last couple of auto attacks onto that tier 1. Instead, they're going to be stopped in their tracks. Kabe shooting 1 more piercing arrow into the back of Sunday as Ryoma comes along the side to make sure that nobody from TSM is going to be committing all the way onto the 100 Thieves members as Bjergsen summons up that Sun Disc in mid lane on top of the ruins of the 100 Thieves tier 1, and TSM seem confident now moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, Kabe right now has got the fully online on-hit Varus build. Dardoch does get caught.
Dardoch once again the target of 100 Thieves aggro. There comes your Sunday initiation onto Biofrost, able to throw him up into the air, get a flash away here once more. Stopwatch comes out from Ryoma. Bjergsen's going to be grabbed, barely stepping out of the way of the Moonlight Vigil. That would have taken him out. It was a critical dodge as Dardoch again has to disengage. Biofrost will be the man paying the price, and 2 members of TSM do have to head back to the base. Critically, one of them is Dardoch. That jungler so low, instead he's deciding to stick around. Surely he will die if he goes in, but he knows he needs to be able to contest this smite. Bjergsen used the TP to get back after going back to the base and healing up. 100 Thieves again going to be looking to go after the Baron, but Dardoch's able to find a massive Cataclysm, trapping everybody in, and TSM will slaughter 100 Thieves. Dardoch sets them all up, and Bjergsen slams them into the ground. Pentakill, TSM!
For Shurima! Bjergsen saves the game for TSM. Are you kidding?
Bjergsen, nothing, bro. Dardoch built the arena. He sentenced 4 and then 5 men to death. Bjergsen dropped the axe, but it was Dardoch setting that up.
Oh my gosh, 100 Thieves. The 3rd time they start up another one of these Barons after getting a pick. They start out, Broken Blade gets a good knock up there, and as they're all trying to exit, the Cataclysm does get the big AoE off, but there's nowhere for them to run. Back into the Baron pit, you see Ornn going there. He actually went the wrong way. Cody's son gets chased down. Bjergsen racks up the Penta. TSM get the Baron on top of all those kills. The Flowers, that is just such a heartbreaker for 100 Thieves. They were so close so many times.
All right, we just got to, we went into a replay there for a brief moment, but we don't got time, man. The TSM War Machine is pumping on all cylinders. What an absolute swing in momentum for this game that felt so close. Even a little bit 100 Thieves favored there after that last pick, but TSM turning it right around. They're nearly 10,000 gold ahead. Victory seems so likely here now for this squad as they push up and get ready to assault the 100 Thieves base.
Yeah, we went from ping-ponging back and forth between 2 advantages, one for each team, to just a landslide here for TSM now. Now, 100 Thieves, they're in full defense mode, right? They can't, give up all hope. They still have a possibility of trying to fight on another Ocean Soul point for themselves. TSM have gained so much power with all the extra gold that they got from these kills. It's now an 8-0 Azir with a fully funded end game build. So it's going to be more difficult, but they got to keep their hopes alive.
Things are so difficult to deal with here in this situation. TSM sieging up bottom lane, sieging up mid lane, looking to earn themselves that playoff lock with a win here over 100 Thieves. Dardoch on the front line there, dodging away from a couple of the skill shots coming out from the spells, 100 Thieves players. 30 seconds before this next Ocean Drake spawns. About the same amount of time left in the Baron power play. TSM seem to be content with backing away. They don't want to risk having anybody get caught out of position. That has happened a couple times already this game. They want to make sure that they don't give up any sort of a win condition back into this game by surrendering that Ocean Soul to the side of 100 Thieves. Bjergsen will continue pushing up here in the bottom side. Sun Disc summoned behind them, so they have a point to retreat to. Gravity Well from Ryoma will not do a lot. Instead, he's nearly killed instantly. Blink your eyes and the health bar is gone as the cannon minion puts the last shot there into the inhibitor turret. Dardoch now on those front lines once more. Ryoma still healing up back in the base. Someday using the ulti. He's only finding the knockup onto Broken Blade and Biofrost there into the very back line as TSM, they just seem so in control now. They'll back away. They don't need to grab the inhibitor itself. Instead, they'll just head on over to Drake and pick that one up.
Maximum Ocean Drakes, Mr. Flowers, and we will finally have the thrilling conclusion in 5 minutes to which team will get your Therapy Drake.
If it lasts that long, Therapy Drake might be he might be shutting down his office this game. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends before then. TSM has shown the ability to just completely slam some fights if given the chance to do so. Broken Blade, Dardoch, Bjergsen, everybody just having some pretty impressive moments here in these team fights as 100 Thieves are setting up inside the brush, seeing if maybe they can get somebody from TSM to walk a little bit too close without a sweeper, maybe just be slightly overconfident to face check the brush, but it doesn't look like TSM's walking over there here just yet. Nope, Scryer's the blue trinket, gonna make sure that they don't get found out there.
Scryers, peekaboo, I see you.
Yup.
And it's going to give them a clear route. And again, it's just going to be 100 Thieves on full defense mode, waiting for the spawn of Baron. 1 minute and 40 seconds for TSM to drop the axe again. Moving in first, trying to ward up every route leading to the Baron, because they know this is the only way for 100 Thieves to get back in it, would be some sort of steal for themselves. They annihilate Baron, by the way. Bjergsen is insanely fed. This is an on-hit Varus, where Kabe also is only missing a single item. Both of those carries with stopwatches, by the way, so going to be very difficult for 100 Thieves to work their way through.
Normally, when you're an Ornn with a bunch of these big tanky items, you're like, oh yeah, man, I'm a meatball. I can walk in front of anything, don't take no damage. Oh, what's that? Shrug it off, no big deal. Haha, XD. No, absolutely not. You walk into that Varus, that Azir, you are going to get shredded here in about half a second. As Broken Blade has to dash over the wall there, getting away from the pillar. Meteo's making a good attempt, but not good enough. As 100 Thieves will try to maintain some control over the mid lane. Baron up in 35. Bjergsen taking down that remaining tier 2 turret of the 100 Thieves lines. As Meteos goes over the wall. Dardoch is isolated from the rest of the team, but again, that's a Jarvan. He's able to get away rather easily with the EQ combo. TP coming in now as Bjergsen joins up with the rest of the TSM squad. Here comes your initiation from 100 Thieves and Someday, only able to find the knockup onto Biofrost, and that is a large team fight tool that has very little effect. And Biofrost says, what's up, Ryoma? He found Zinkan out as Broken Blade has to jump over the wall. He's finding a couple slams, finding a couple knockups. Kabe getting some damage on to Meteos here as Dardoch goes into the back line, and Kabe takes down Ryoma. Bjergsen's gonna be stuck there in the Baron pit. He's barely even contributing so far, but it doesn't even matter. Cody's son looking to turn things around though as the AoE comes down and Bjergsen shut out. It's a triple kill over to Cody, but Broken Blade and Kabe are still left alive. Broken Blade looking to take care of Meteos here. Mano a mano. 1v1, trying to find the kill. Kabe now finds Someday around the corner. There goes your Volcanic Rupture. Knock up into the air. The Brittle's coming down. And Someday, good God, man. The flash of the wall to even survive it. As Meteos will buy as much time as possible against Broken Blade. What in the world am I watching in these fights?
Flowers, I believe you just watched Meteos get a pillar Sunfire Cape kill with, because it procs it on any sort of CC. Is he going to get out of this though? He runs away from the chain and Meteos survives. His Cinder Hulk explosion on casting the pillar got the kill onto Kabe, meaning Kabe could not deliver the last hit on Someday, who survived. That was incredible. Thank you, Cinder Hulk buffs.
What is going on?
It was definitely a messy one. So you called it out while you were casting, but well, let's see if stun fights. Okay, at the beginning of that fight, if you think all the way back to it, and they're chasing Ryoma around the back, Bjergsen was in the pit and he couldn't quite get his autos off during the initiation. They had the same initiation where Broken Blade gets the AoE knockup into a Cataclysm from Dardoch, but the Azir couldn't quite reach during that time, so that's why it got a little messy in this chase.
All right, this game is still not disappointing, my friend, as Dardoch goes in. 100 Thieves now looking to repel this attack. Meteos immediately using the subjugate on the TSM initiator. Broken Blade also going to be soaking up the damage here from 100 Thieves. The difference this time is Bjergsen's able to find some damage here early on. He's going to be soaking the Chaos Storm, now has to run away. Stunts ulti, looking to find the damage onto him. Cody, son of the Moonlight Vigil, now looking to grab some auto attacks onto Bjergsen and Biofrost. And once again, Stunts gone fishing. Biofrost is pulled right in the waiting arms of 100 Thieves.
So, about that Ocean Dragon.
Oh my goodness, what is happening?
Let's go. Final round.
All right, so sit down on the Therapy Dragon's couch. Tell them all about what's ailing you. As 100 Thieves are moving over here yet again. Broken Blade going to be the target. Dardoch having to back himself away. Broken Blade still in full retreat. Ryoma following it up. The lasers and the lasers and the lasers are all pouring into the health bars as the exhaust onto Bjergsen makes it hard for him to find some kind of a counterattack. The Chaos Storm will rend him asunder. And TSM loses their mid laner for the second time this game. 100 Thieves now has to make the call. Is it Soul? Is it Baron? What's the play?
They're sending at least one to finish off this dragon. They've got to be. Their inhibitor is dying to minions at the moment. They're going to finish it off. Teleport is available on Ryoma, so they're also going to contest the Baron with the teleport.
They're making sure that TSM are not able to just trade the Baron away for the Drake. I like that. Ryoma's clearing away this bottom lane. As you mentioned, the inhibitor under siege. You don't want to give that one away for free either. Kobe, this game just refuses to end itself in a way that you would expect. 100 Thieves biting back with the late game power of Victor and Aphelios, as now Bjergsen's dead for another 10 seconds, and 100 Thieves sees their opportunity to take not only the soul, but the Baron buff as well.
Flowers, I gotta be honest. I had a
All right, be honest with me, buddy.
On my desk, I knocked it over when 100 Thieves got that pick and turned the game around.
What?
I'm really hoping my keyboard is gonna be fine, but there's also water all over the floor, and I'm standing with wet socks.
What you? Well, if there's any kind of game to be worth knocking your water over for, it's one like this, my friend. This is a hell of a way to start off Week 9 here at the LCS, and I am loving every minute of it.
All right, let's see if this Ocean Soul will be the turning point. If 100 Thieves can push in with this, because Baron buff is just going to do all the work for them on these towers. You see nobody stepping up. They don't want to take any risks. This game has been full of risks. It has been full of people getting picked off, leading to big objectives. So they're playing it very cautiously here, letting that cannon minion right there in the center do the dirty work.
This feels so much like Bjergsen versus Cody's son. Cody on this champion. I said it back in Champion Select as soon as they locked the Aphelios. He's a team fighter who can carry a game for you if he's protected, if he gets that free firing time. QSS on him also means it's so much harder to lock him down. Broken Blade going to be jumped on now. That's the target. Ryoma zoning away both Bjergsen and Dardoch. Broken Blade knocked up into the air now. Someday making sure they continue to chase onto the TSM top laner, who's forced to both use the ultimate and the flash to get away. That is no one dead yet, but it is Broken Blade completely cut off from the rest of his team, and 100 Thieves still pushing forward. You have to ask the question, do they have a chance to really push onto these Nexus turrets, though? They don't want to overextend. Remember, TSM still incredibly scary. Dardoch going in once again. Cataclysm on to 3. More damage coming down. Ryoma getting himself away, and Dardoch is dead, as Someday's going to be soaking up so much from the TSM carries. He gets himself away with a flash, and now they're re-engaged on the Broken Blade. Remember, the flash no longer available for him. Moonlight Vigil able to come down, find so much damage. Cody's son grabbing the shutdown onto Kabe, but it's going to be a shutdown for Bjergsen back onto Cody. With Bjergsen out of the picture, it's Broken Blade and Biofrost against the world. They're likely going to be killed up here by Ryoma. The Chaos Storm will end the last bastion of TSM defense, and 100 Thieves will win this game.
They've done it! Ocean Soul prevails! 100 Thieves are going to improve to 9 wins here. Guarantee themselves a tiebreaker at least to make it into playoffs.
What a